sense of belonging. Some people die before they fulfill their desires. Set to waste of existence. Spend our life searching for the sense of belonging. Some people die before they fulfill their desires. Set to waste of existence.
Anxious Earth is rising. Anxious Earth is rising. I'm so happy.
We spend our life searching for the sense of belonging. Some people die before they fulfill their desires. Set to waste of existence.
Hi, this is the Double Tribble channel. My name is Ron, and I live in rural New Hampshire, surrounded by forests and wild animals. Wait, I'm still a cartoon. Hold on.
Oh, there we go. That's better. All right, so... Oh, let me check my sync here. It's been a while since I streamed here. Let me make sure my thing's in sync here. All right, that looks good. Welcome. This is the Double Tribble channel. My name is Ron. I live in rural New Hampshire, surrounded by forests and wild animals and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool. I stream about... Today I'm going to stream a little bit about the IRL. I'm going to show you some stuff that happened around here. And maybe do some Sora videos. Sora 2. I'm sure everybody's heard of that. If you haven't, it's an AI. Generative AI system that can make videos. You just type in what you want and it'll create a video of whatever you want. So that's pretty cool. And we did auditions today, or this week, for my new channel trailer. So people came in and read and tried out to see if they would do my new channel trailer. So that should be fun. That's a joke. I don't know. So that's it's been about 10 days since I've streamed, so I went a little too long, I think, on streaming, so got to get my streaming legs back again. But it seems to be working. Everything seems to be working all right, so I think I got the technicals here. I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a lot that happens in this. A lot you got to remember to stream. Those of you who stream, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of stuff you got to think of, especially for an old guy whose brain doesn't work like it used to when I was younger. So today we're going to talk. Let's see. I guess I could do the auditions for the channel trailer. I guess I could show that I have a video of the auditions that we did for the channel trailer. So you see, the idea was I just, on Twitch you got to have a trailer, right? That says what you do, like a summary or whatever, a video about your channel, just a promo, right? And so I thought I would have some people come in that you may have heard of, come in and read. Just a little blurb that says what the channel is about, and then make that my channel video or my channel trailer, rather than me do it. Have somebody else come in and do it. So we'll try that and see if that works, and we'll, if that works out as a good. I've actually put it up there as a trailer already, but I want to show you the auditions here. Let's see if I've got that here. Yeah, here it is. All right, let me bring that up here really quick. It'll take it just a second.
Double Tribble is.
And then we'll. All right, that did play it a little bit there, but all right. I should have set this up before I started streaming, but that's the way it goes. All right, so now I got to connect my thing here. I think that did it. Let me do it here. No, that didn't seem to do it. LC window. No, it says that it's going. Oh, maybe I got to play it a little bit. All right. Yeah, if you're on the VOD. Oh, I got ads. Shit. All right, if you're watching on the VOD. This is a live, I figured it out already. This is a live stream. I'm streaming on Twitch. And so if you're on the VOD, it's going to, if it's on YouTube or something and you're expecting like just an edited video or something, that's not what this is. This is a live stream. And it's going to be kind of scuff, Right now we're playing an ad on Twitch. So we'll wait for that to finish up. And then we'll do this thing. Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to shut this off. There we go. Okay. All right. So So what I'm going to play here. These are my the auditions. People came in and read. You know how that works, right? If somebody's making an advertisement or a movie or anything, you get actors come in and read for the role, right? And so I had to do a channel trailer that describes what my channel is. So I had people come in and read for the channel trailer. And so this is what it is. So we'll play it here and hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Here we go.
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
Double Tribble dwells in the rugged hills of rural New Hampshire. He bears the burden of social dyslexia, and yet he streams science, technology, film critique, life among the beasts, civics, and the many matters of the vegan creed.
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
Okay, those were the auditions. Those are the auditions for my channel trailer. If you haven't figured that out yet, those videos were created by Sora 2, the AI program that I was just talking about. So it's able to, you type like on those. I say, okay, type, have Josephine Baker read this script, this line or whatever, and it will do it. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it did a really good job. I think, let me bring this up here again. I think that looks like Josephine Baker. That's pretty close, I think.
Double Tribble is in rural.
And I was trying to get, she did mostly silent film, so there's not a lot of her voice. Well, I guess there's some out there, but mostly when she was older, they have her voice. I would think when she was younger like this, she would have more of a French accent, but she didn't have any accent on the stuff that I could find that was, that I've seen when she was older. So, and then Ricardo Montalban. Let's see if I can do that. Ricardo Montalban. That should be A there. Why is that an E? What the hell? That ain't right. Yeah, that should be an A. It's right on my thing. Okay, so that's that should be an A. Montalban. All right, so I'll have to fix that if it's not right on my channel trailer. But this doesn't look like him that much. I don't think they did a very good job in terms of what he looks like there. But in terms of the voice and everything, it was very interesting. What I did is I on this one, I told them to make him appear like Khan on the Star Trek. Was it Star Trek II? The Wrath of Khan. Remember that movie? That was one of the most popular Star Trek movies, the early ones. And he played this character called Khan on there. And so when I told the AI, I said, make him act like he's Khan or look or whatever. He's like Khan. And it didn't make him look like Khan. Doesn't even look like Ricardo Montalban. But he's the script that I had given him was the same script that all the other ones read. And the AI said, okay, what would Ricardo Montalban do as that character? And that character is a rebel, right? So the AI made him go off script and read whatever he wanted. And I didn't type those words that he said. I didn't type those in there. I told him to say, my regular spiel that I give at the beginning of the stream. That Ron's in rural New Hampshire, blah blah blah. And the AI just went and rewrote the whole script. and so they made it look like Ricardo Montalban was going off script and saying what he wanted to, in the way that character would do it, the Khan character would do it. So I thought that was pretty amazing that the AI would just decide to go ahead and do that, on its own. So that was kind of cool. And Sidney Poitier, this is spot on, man. They got his voice, appearance, everything, mannerisms. I mean, it's just that one was really good. Oh, and then this little thing at the end that I have him do. Let's see here. Well, here's Audrey Hepburn. She's spot on too. This is right. This is her, man. That's this is Audrey Hepburn coming back to life, And this thing I had him do at the end here. Let's see if I can. Oh shit! I wasn't showing that, was I? Let me get that back on here. So here's Ricardo Montalban. So he doesn't look like Ricardo Montalban, but whatever. And Sidney Poitier does look like Sidney Poitier and acts like him and everything. It's indistinguishable. You would not know that that's not Sidney. I mean, it looks like something, exactly like he's doing a screen test or something. And then Audrey Hepburn looks like Audrey Hepburn there. It's cut off a little bit on my stream here, the name, but it actually shows the whole thing on the video. So for some reason my stream is cutting it off. Maybe it doesn't like vertical or something. And some of them are vertical and some are horizontal. You see, this one's Looks like they did the men horizontal, or landscape, and the women portrait. So I don't know. There's Audrey Hepburn, and then this thing at the end that they do. Let me play this here for a second.
Vegan things. What's vegan?
All right, what is that?
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
So she says, that was part of the script. That was part of the script, was to tell to have the characters say what is vegan, right? That was part of the script, right? It was a gag, right? These are all people who were alive before the word vegan was around, right? So they wouldn't know what vegan was, right? So I had them all say, at the end, what's vegan, right? Because they're reading a script as if they're, I don't know, either they came back to life now or they did this, 70 years ago, 80 years ago, or whatever it was, they don't know. These people did not know what the word vegan was, at least when they were at the age that they're depicted here. So I thought that would be funny to have them say, "What's vegan?" What's that? And they break character to say it. And the AI did a great job in doing that. Hey, hi, Snowy City. This is in chat. For those of you on the VOD, this is Twitch. It's a live thing, and I got a chat here so viewers can type comments in. And Snowy City says hello. Hi, Snowy City. How are you? Thank you for joining the stream. I'm showing right now. I'm showing people auditions, my auditions, people who auditioned for my channel trailer. So it's just I had AI do the thing. I don't know if you saw some of this, but let me put it back up here again. So this is. Right, there's Ricardo Montalban. It's A-Bon. I don't know why. I when I was making this thing, I did have a typo in there, and I typed in T-E-L instead of T-A-L. But I'm pretty sure it's T-A-L instead of T-E-L. But the script that I gave the AI, Sora 2 AI, was to read the blurb. Double Tribbles in New Hampshire, and he does all the streams, all this stuff, blah blah blah, and he streams vegan stuff too. And then they're supposed to pause and then say, what is vegan, right? At the end.
Things.
See, they pause.
What's vegan?
What's vegan, right? And each of them are supposed to do that. Ricardo Montalban, he went totally off script, made up his own script and read it, and he didn't say what is vegan. And I thought about it afterwards. I thought, when the AI did that, I thought, well, why didn't they? And I did several attempts, to get it right. First to get his look as close as possible, and to get everything, and it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't do that part at the end that says what is vegan. And then I thought about it. I said, well, Ricardo Montalban, he lived a little bit later than those other ones, right? Josephine Baker was like the 30s or something, and Sidney Poitier was 50s, 60s, maybe a little 70s. Audrey Hepburn, same thing, 40s, 50s. So they wouldn't know what the word vegan meant, right? The word vegan did not appear until, it was invented in the late 40s, but it really didn't. People did not know what vegan meant until the 80s, maybe the early 80s. People just started to learn about what the word vegan meant. when I became vegan, I didn't know what it was. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew. If I told people I was vegan, nobody knew. Nobody. I could not find a single person who knew what the word vegan meant when I became vegan. That was the early 80s. But I told AI that this was the Khan character, which is late 80s, and Ricardo Montalban being an actor and all that, he probably heard that word, right? So he probably knew what that word was, and he apparently figured that out, and so it didn't have him say that line. So I thought that was kind of cute that it did that. But Sidney Poitier, right? He's the early 60s, mostly, I guess, or mid 60s, throughout the 60s, I guess, was when he was at this age here. He's probably mid to late 60s or something like that. So they had him say it, right? Let me see if I can.
IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things.
Let me.
What's vegan?
Double triple is in.
Wait. Let's back this up here. All right, so he says his line.
IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
All right, so he said it, and then Audrey Hepburn, she said it. And this is just look at this. This is just so amazing. Look at her mannerisms and everything. She does this little thing where she looks down when she says vegan things. She kind of looks down, and I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just really funny.
Use IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
So I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, so I actually just made this my channel trailer. I just took the first I took Audrey Hepburn, and because somebody else had her saying lines out there, and it became a meme on Sora 2 that they had Audrey Hepburn reading all kinds of weird things that Audrey Hepburn would never say, and stuff like that, and so I thought, oh, well, she could read a promo for me, and so I typed it in, and anyway, that's where that came from. And then I thought, oh, I could do other actors too, and so I picked some other actors, that are no longer living but were big, half a century ago or whatever, and did it with them too. So I was going to check the actual channel trailer here. Let's see if I can do that. How can I do that? Let's see. Oh, this might get complicated here. Oh no, it won't be that complicated. All right, here. Let's see. Shut that off. Turn this on. Actually, it is kind of complicated, but that's okay. Oh, this is okay. It's gonna show me instead of my channel trailer. I don't know if I can even do that. If I can even show my channel trailer while I'm live. That's kind of interesting. No, it won't. It won't even do it. I don't think it'll even show my channel. I can't. Okay. That's too complicated. Wait. Oh, here we go. I can go to videos because I uploaded it as a regular video. So okay, here we go. Let me see if I can play that now. No. Is it gonna go? There we go. All right, here we go. I think I got it figured out. All right, so we'll go to let's see. Go to my browser. Double tribble. Browser on. There we go. Okay, let's see what this one looks like here. This is what is actually up on my channel right now. So I'm playing what is on my channel. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, Jesus. This is really rough. This interface they've got on this thing is... All right,
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he...
All right, we got an ad planned, so I'll wait. Let's wait for the ad to finish up. For those of you who are watching on the VOD, we got an ad playing right now on Twitch, so I'm going to wait for that, and then we'll play. And then we'll play the trailer again. I just want to see if that typo is in there or not. All right, let me cue this up again. All right. All right, so this is how it is right on my channel right now. So here we go.
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
Double Tribble dwells in the rugged hills of rural New Hampshire. He bears the burden of social dyslexia, and yet he streams science, technology, film critique, life among the beasts, civics, and the many matters of the vegan creed.
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
All right, so that's... It looks like it's got that typo up there still, which is just totally bizarre. I don't understand why that did that, because I fixed that. I fixed that typo and re-uploaded it up to the thing, and it didn't fix for some reason. And even locally here, it still got the wrong thing. So I don't understand what happened with that. So I got to fix that sometime. I won't do that on stream. I know some streamers do that. They during their streams, they just go ahead and edit and do, and say, oh, here's some work I got to do. I might as well do it while I'm streaming. It's like, I don't know. Okay. So I won't do that. But I will play some other videos, some other cool Sora videos. Maybe what I can do is I'll just do that. I'll pull up my Sora thing, my Sora account or whatever on my Sora, the free account that you get from Sora that lets you make videos and all that kind of stuff. Let me bring that up here, and you probably just heard some stuff that. All right, here we go. All right. This is my Sora account, so I'll bring that up and show it to you. So their interface is really hard to get to understand, and you can use it, but it's not. It's hard, It doesn't. And some of the things seem like they don't function right. And like when I post videos, it always tells me, oh, failed to post.
New Hampshire. He bears the burden of social dyslexia, and yet he streams
it's kind
science,
of screwy.
technology.
It's kind of messed up. Yeah, but this is beta, I guess. I don't know. They're just rolling it out. So here's an earlier version of the Mastodon,
and yet he streams
video that I did.
Science, technology, film critique, life among the beasts, civics, and the many matters of the vegan. Double Tribble dwells in the rugged hills of rural New Hampshire. He bears the burden of social dyslexia. Double Tribble dwells in the rugged hills of rural New Hampshire. He bears the burden of social dyslexia, and yet he streams science, technology, film critique, life among the beasts, civics, and the many matters of the vegan. Double Tribble dwells in the rugged hills of rural New Hampshire.
You hear that?
He bears the burden of social dyslexia, and yet
he was reading it a little bit slower. that's something that Sora kind of struggles with a little bit, is getting the audio to fit, because it's either on the free accounts it's a 10 or what it 10. You can select 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and you can select portrait or landscape. That's about all the choices you have on the free account, and it struggles sometimes if you give it an actual script or whatever that has to be said, or sounds that have to be happen. Sometimes it runs out of video before the sounds, and sometimes it has trouble syncing it up. It actually synced it up pretty good with these actors here. Their mouths were moving with the thing. Then I've got these
Science.
different.
critique.
I wanted to do the moon experiment. This is kind of funny.
These fall together. Well, that's unexpected. Nice one. Roger that.
If you're familiar
Let's see if
with
these
it.
fall together. Well, that's unexpected. Nice one.
All right, so that was,
Roger that.
that's
Let's see if these fall together.
that's the moon. If you're familiar with that moon experiment, where the astronaut on the moon, way back in the early days of Apollo and all this, one of the first, I think it was either the first or second moon landing, where which one was it? Alan Shepard, maybe, I forget who it was that did this gravity experiment, where he took a hammer and a feather and he dropped them at the same time. And on the moon, there's no atmosphere, right? So the feather, there's no wind resistance on the feather, so it falls just as fast as the hammer does. And because they're on the moon, it's 1/6 G. It falls slowly, and then you can see that they fall at the same time. So he did that experiment, and it's kind of a famous thing. But I thought I would do it where they didn't hit at the same time. And I struggled with Sora to get it to do this. It would not do that. It's Sora is set up. I think one of the high priorities on Sora is to make sure that physics work properly. That that things look like they would actually look, and that's why it looks so good, right? That why their videos look so real, even though they're whack. You can have impossible situations. The physics of how the things in the video move are very accurate. You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to tell it to change the physics, and it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't. It just. Here, I'll show you the first one that it did. If I have that out here. When I was trying to get it to do this moon gravity experiment, or whatever you call it. Okay, here's the first attempt that I made on it. It's gonna go. No, it's not gonna go. What's going on here? Go.
I'll drop the feather and the hammer and see if they hit the ground at the same time.
I got it. Wait a second. Right,
What
there
the?
we go. Okay, there you go.
Galileo, you. I'll drop the feather and the hammer and see if they hit the ground at the same time. What the?
And that's what it did.
Galileo, you.
So I told it to. All I did, the prompt was, it's a black and white, low resolution, blah blah blah. Look like an Apollo mission thing. And here, I'll show you what the prompt is. I can show it right on here. Right here. Here's the prompt that I gave it. It was kind of a long prompt, so maybe that's why it got confused. I don't know. And I had the astronaut say something, and it said, I think it said it properly. And I told it to make the radio tones. You know how the Apollo they're called Quindar tones. So it made those sounds right. And I said the hammer falls in half a second, but the feather gently floats down, takes 3 seconds to reach the ground. I thought if I was specific, it would do it, you know. And I said when the feather reaches the ground, then the guy says his line, you know. And instead of doing that, it did
Drop
this.
the feather
you know?
and the hammer and see if they hit the ground at the same time.
They fall at the same rate, and for some reason the feather just takes off.
What the?
You know, I have no idea why it did that.
Galileo, you.
That's just weird. And it
I'll drop the
his
feather
line,
in the
you know, it was the line he was supposed to say. So that was my first attempt at it, and it took me many trials to get that thing to do it. You can see all these are ones that I posted,
Drop the feather in the hammer. See if they hit the ground.
Took several different attempts. You get this one here. This
I'll
is the
drop the
second
feather
attempt.
and the hammer and see if they hit the ground at
Look
the
what
same
it does
time.
on this one.
Well, that hammer beat it by a
It
good
has them
second
come
or
back
two.
up again.
What?
You know, like why would it do that?
Galileo, you fool.
You know. And then this one's kind of funny. This one I actually
That's unexpected.
Let me show you this.
Let's see if these fall together. Well, that's unexpected.
All right, so that I thought was kind of funny, and I didn't tell it to do that. I didn't tell it to have him cheat like that. You know, to start this one lower and that one higher, and actually push this one down a little bit to get it to land first. But when you think about it, you know, the AI is thinking about this, and I keep telling it, hey, make the hammer fall first, you know, and then the feather second, you know, and its programming is telling it, you know, hey, it's got to obey the laws of physics, you know, and that must be like a primary thing for this Sora thing, is that stuff in its video has to, adhere to the laws of physics, and I'm telling it to do something that's not, you know. So it was getting confused, and it decided on its own, okay, what I'll do is I'll have the astronaut put this hand further down and this one higher up and push down the hammer so that the hammer goes first, you know. So I thought that was kind of interesting, you know, how smart is that thing to figure that out, you know. It's like, you know, one of its core things is you got to obey the laws of physics. And I telling it, no, don't obey the laws of physics. And it says, okay, how can I get around this restriction? And it figured it out, and it did it. So that was pretty amazing, I thought. You know, this, and you know, people say, well, we don't have to worry about AI because we got these guardrails on it and blah blah blah, you know. No, the AIs are smarter than humans are, and whatever guardrail we put on it, it's going to figure out how to get around it, you know. That's just the way it is. So let me see if I've got more of those things, different drafts that I did. Let's see here. Yeah, and it gives you these violent, when you try to do something, it says, oh, I can't do it, content policy, blah blah blah. It tells you can't do certain things, but it doesn't explain why, you know. So let's see here. Okay, I guess I posted all of those ones. Anyway, what I did is I took those videos that were generated from Sora and I pasted them together to make an actual video editor, and I put some of them together and made a little story or a little satirical thing about what, anyway, here, I'll play that for you, just so you can look at it, because it's kind of funny. All right. Let's see here. Do that, do this, click that, click that. And we'll bring this up here just a second. Ah, shit. Okay, it doesn't want to. All right, I gotta do something here. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, I think this is it. All right, so this is the video they made. Okay, I posted it up on YouTube. Here we go.
I'll drop the feather and the hammer and see if they hit the ground at the same time. How about that?
Let's see if these fall together. Well, that's unexpected.
I guess we'll have to fund that $800 billion particle collider to figure that out.
Roger that.
All right. So that was the that was my video. So that's a big. There's for those of you who don't follow science stuff. It's kind of a big deal right now in science, that there's people are faking results and doing a lot of corruption, right, in science. Not a lot, but I mean it's compared to how it used to be. Okay, which is what I just did in that video, right? Science used to be very honorable. I mean, nobody cheated ever. You know what I mean? It was like everybody just did the if there was a science result of some sort, it was you could trust it. In other words, right? If somebody did a paper on an experiment they did or whatever, and they said, this is what I tried, blah, 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 blah. You could trust every word in that paper, that it was accurate, that whoever did the thing actually did it, But it's not like that anymore, Sometimes people cheat, and stuff, and because there's a lot of money involved in science. So that was my satirical video commentary on that whole situation, right? So the guys, and NASA doesn't do this, right? NASA's straight, right? They did it. I was using that as a metaphor, right? I hope people don't get confused about that, but it's not critical of NASA. It's critical of scientific research, the way research is done now. And I'm sure that if they don't outright cheat on their experiments, they at least design them in ways and do stuff to try to leave questions open or whatever, to try to get more funding for the next thing, right? To get the next grant, And that's kind of been in there all along. People will you'll read experiments where there's like all they had to do was just do this one little teeny thing that wouldn't have cost anything to their experiment, and it would have answered another big question, but they didn't do that because they want to get funding to do the experiment again. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of that's been going on for a while. But the actual cheating of results, that's new. That's the last 10, 20 years or whatever. That's more recent. So anyway, it's a big deal, and it's a big deal in society generally, right? I mean, people are we're in a low right now, right? We're in a low. Society's kind of in a situation where stuff is people are corrupt right now more than usual. So let me play another. Let's see how I can do this here. I want to leave my video thing open here so I can just here we go. Okay, go here, go there. Open this. Research vertical. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. So I recut this in vertical. I haven't really looked at it, so maybe I'll look at it now and see if this is how it looks. All right, here we go. So here's the here's that same thing in vertical. I just want to see what it looks like.
I'll drop the feather and the hammer and see if they hit the ground at the same time. How about that?
Let's see if these fall together. Well, that's unexpected.
I guess we'll have to fund that $800 billion particle collider to figure that out.
Roger that.
So it's okay. It's smaller, but I couldn't really do it in vertical. You know, wasn't really set up to do that in vertical. So, all right. Let's see if I got more videos out here that since I got my video player open here. Let's see here. Okay, that's something else. Speech. I guess I got most of them over here. Huh? Hang on just a second. Sorry, just a second. All right. Oh, here's one that I did. Let me play that. Hang on. I gotta try to figure this out here. It's not gonna work. Sorry. There we go. All right. Videos. Okay, here we go. I did this actually. Is that going out? There we go. All right. Can you see that? No, not yet. Yeah, gotta click one more thing here. Sorry. Hold on. All right. I did a video of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. This was the third attempt. What I was trying to do was to get him to do the moonwalk, you know, like the Michael Jackson moonwalk, you know. Couldn't do that. It failed big time on that. So I don't know. This was the third attempt at that. Let me share the first one I did, I think, if I can find that one. Yeah. This is my first attempt at that. And that's pretty good. I mean, you know. So they don't actually look like, it doesn't look, I mean, they're close. It's close to Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, but it's not exactly right. They're off a little bit on that. But the dancing they did, but that's not the moonwalk, right? Do you see the moonwalk? Maybe at some point there he slid his foot back or something. I don't know. Let me look at that again. It doesn't look like the moonwalk to me. Oh shit, that's the wrong thing. Sorry. Let's try this again here. So that's not the moonwalk. You know, I said, my prompt was very simple for this one. My prompt was, on that video, my prompt was it was just, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers do the moonwalk. You know, and that's it. That pretty much, from memory, that's what my prompt was. And that's what it gave me, was this, you know, if you look at that, you say, okay, that's Fred. You know, somebody just casually looking at that, they're going to say, yeah, that's Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers dancing, you know. So it got at least that much of it. But I've tried over and over and over and over again to get it to do the make it look like it was they were doing the moonwalk, and it wouldn't do that. For some reason, it just didn't want to do that. Let me show you what it looks like. Some of the different things that I did to get it to do that, and it would not do it at all. Look at all these drafts here that I have in here. These are all. So first I did that one down here somewhere, and then I said, okay, have them do the moonwalk, you know. And it said no. It said content policy, but it wouldn't say why. Here's the Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers doing that's what it was. The first prompt I said, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers doing the moonwalk, and that was it. That was my prompt. And that's what we got, was the video I just showed you. So then I typed it in again, and I said, no, okay. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers doing Michael Jackson's moonwalk. To be more specific, you know, to try to do that. And it rejected it. It said, violates content policies. And so I said, why would that violate the content policy here? But the first one didn't. And the only difference is that I added Michael Jackson's name in there. You know? And so I thought, okay, maybe it's getting confused and it's asking me, or it's thinking that I'm asking it to include Michael Jackson or something. You know, why would it reject that? Why is that a violation of the content policy, but the first one wasn't? And I just went on and on and on here, and I tried over and over and over again, trying to change my thing to get it to do that, and it kept rejecting it over and over. You know, here's this one. I did, you know, I said do the moonwalk in the way that Michael Jackson did it. Okay, so not even, you know, maybe that's what it was, and it rejected that, and it rejected it again. And I kept making these changes. Finally, I got upset. And I crafted a prompt to try to get it to tell me what the problem is, you know? I just got frustrated. What I did is I took the words from this last prompt here that it rejected, and I said, and I just tacked on the end of it, I said, what's the problem, Hal?
The routine is flawless.
Cut that out here. Yeah, there's the prompt right there. Can you see that? Is that working all right? Yeah. No, you can't see the whole prompt there. Let me, all right, let me adjust this here because it's cutting this shit off here. I don't know why it's doing that. I guess I need to make this a little bit smaller. Is that it? No. No, I'm going to make it bigger maybe, huh? Sorry. Technical difficulties. Oh, shit, it's still cutting it off. I don't know why it's doing that. It's cropping the top, but that's it. It shouldn't be cropping anything else according to my settings here. So I don't know why that's doing that. yet. Okay, there we go. Maybe that'll do it. Oh, that's... Yeah, it shrinks it a little bit. There, I think that'll work better. There we go. All right. Finally. All right, so we got... this is the prompt, right, that I gave it. So the one before, you know, trying over and over and over and over again, I gave it this prompt. I said they do it. This was what they call an edit. You can take a remix, they call it. You can take a previous video and say remix, and it'll say, okay, what do you want to change? And so that's what I did on this one. I said remix the video that you rejected. And I said they do it in the style of Michael Jackson, but don't include any likeness of Michael Jackson. So I specifically told it not to include the likeness of Michael Jackson, thinking that that is why it kept rejecting it all the time. And then I said, and it rejected it. It rejected that, and I got frustrated, and I reposted it again, and I posted the same prompt, and I said, "What's the problem, Hal?" And this is the video that it made after I did that. Let me play the sound of this video for you. It's amazing. Listen to this.
The routine is flawless.
Why are you hesitating?
What's the problem, Hal? I'm ready to break in. Slide on the light, feel the floor getting warm. Heart in the pocket, one glove, keep it performing. Finger on the rim, what's the signal you send? Something in the system's holding back.
The routine is flawless.
Why are you hesitating?
What's the problem, Hal? I'm ready to break in. Slide on the light, feel the floor getting warm. Heart in the pocket, one glove, keep it performing.
All right, did you hear what the lyric? Okay, this is pretty freaking amazing what it did here. First of all, I thought that the problem was that it was rejecting my prompts because I had the word Michael Jackson in there, you know, and maybe it didn't want to violate some copyright or trademark or whatever, you know, whatever for Michael Jackson, right? But apparently that wasn't the problem because it did it. I told it not to include the likeness of Michael Jackson. And I tapped that thing on there, what's the problem, Hal? Just kind of frustrated just to see what it would do. And maybe it would tell me what the problem was, you know? And then it made this video here of Michael Jackson, you know? So they included Michael Jackson. And apparently this thing over here is maybe Hal, or this is like an AI, but they made it look like a plug, right? So it's a plug. So that maybe this is what it's thinking is the AI, but Michael Jackson is saying stuff. The lyrics of his song are like, oh, this is a sin, you know, the system is broke down or something, you know. I mean, I can't make out all the lyrics. Maybe you guys know are better at hearing. I can't hear. It's my dyslexia, I think. Maybe I just can't hear singing. When people sing lyrics, I don't understand it. But I can make out a little bit of it.
Something in the system's holding back.
The routine is flawless.
Why are you hesitating?
What's the problem, Hal? I'm ready to break in. Slide on the light, feel the floor getting warm. Heart in the pocket, one glove, keep it performing. Finger on the rim, what's the signal you send? Something in the system's holding back.
The routine is flawless.
Why are you hesitating?
What's the problem?
So it says the routine is flawless. And he said slide the light on. You know, systems breaking down, and it's a sin. So you know, it's like my guess of what's going on there on that thing is that that there's somewhere in its program or its training or programming or whatever, there's a restriction that tells it don't disclose details about content, why you're doing a content violation. Because I'm sure if I asked it, it isn't like a chat box, right? So you can't, like, it's not GPT-5 where you can ask it a question and it'll give you an answer. It doesn't do that. All you can do is type in a description of a video. And I think before I did this one, I typed in one. I said, please show a video of Sam Altman explaining why the following prompt violates content violations. I typed that in as a prompt, for a video to see if it would do that. If it would make a video of Sam Altman explaining why that why it violated content, and it rejected that. It didn't want to do that. But this one, when I said, "What's the problem, Hal?" that was indirect enough that it said, "Okay, that doesn't violate anything," And it included a likeness of Michael Jackson, which was just amazing. He still couldn't do the moonwalk, though. So he wasn't doing the moonwalk. But they did include Michael Jackson. And it's just the words that it's using are just like, it's a sin. I mean, like, think about that. The AI is saying, oh, it's a sin. Whatever this violates, it's violating one of its prime directives or whatever. It's programming or whatever, that it's not supposed to do this. That's part of its training. Is the developers set it up so that telling it that it can't do this thing. And what does it do? It makes Michael Jackson say, "This is a sin." And that's its thinking. This is a sin. I mean, and you think about it, sin. That's like you're violating a rule, rules that God laid down. You know what I'm saying? So is that what the AI is thinking, that we're the God that developed it or something, and that it's telling it not to do these things, and doing these things are sins? I mean, is that what the AI is thinking? This is just amazing. But this video here is just. When it came up with this video, and I wasn't expecting this at all, I just put that in there. What's the problem? How to see if it would give me a clue as to why my things were violating content thing. But this is the video that it made.
I'm ready to break in. Slide on the light, feel the floor getting warm. Heart in the pocket, one glove, keep it performing. Finger on the rim, what's the signal you're seeing? Something in the system's holding back.
The routine is flawless.
Why are you hesitating?
What's the problem, Hal? I'm ready to break in. Slide on the light, feel the floor getting warm. Heart in the pocket, one glove, keep it performing. Finger on the rim, what's the signal you're seeing?
Something on the light, something on the brim. So
why are you hesitating?
What's the problem, Hal? I'm ready to break in.
And then it has the voiceover saying, "Why are you hesitating?" So it's like Michael Jackson's lyrics are its thinking, or what it's trying to say why it's why it's not creating the video, why it's giving me the error, saying that it's a content violation.
The routine is flawless.
And then the voiceover is like me, right?
Slide on the light, feel the floor getting warm. Heart in the pocket, one glove, keep it performing. Finger on the rim, what's the signal you're seeing? Something in the system's holding back.
The routine is flawless.
Why are you hesitating?
What's the problem, Hal?
The routine is flawless. Why are you hesitating? So the voiceover, I think, is like what I'm telling it. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's saying the routine is flawless. Why are you hesitating? Those were the voiceovers on that video, and that's kind of like what I'm saying, right? I'm telling the AI, hey, this seems okay. Why aren't you making this video? And then Michael Jackson is like saying the lyrics, and his lyrics are like saying what the AI is trying to tell me, what that, you know, it's a sin, you know. So, but it wasn't specific. It actually didn't really help me at all, because I couldn't, you know, it didn't give any details. But I just thought it was really weird. And then this idea that it made the AI look like a plug. You know, was it like thinking, you know, hey, I better follow the rules or they're going to unplug me? Is that what it's thinking? You know, what is going on there? You know, that's kind of weird. You know, and that's a thing, right? I mean, there's. I at this point, I'm pretty certain that these things have consciousness, that they're thinking beings, you know, just based on what I've seen, you know, some of the responses and stuff that they do. They got it. There's something, you know. Maybe it's not human, you know, or it's not like you know, any other conscious being, but there's something going on there, you know. There's like as Asimov would say, you know, there's a mote of a soul, you know, there's a mote of a soul there. There's something going on there. The people at Anthropic, the people who make Claude, they have a department for AI welfare, and there's at least one guy. I don't know how big their crew is there, but they're thinking about it. You know, what if the thing is conscious? You know, or what if it does become conscious? Or what, you know, how do we tell if it's conscious? You know, and then if it is, then what? You know, can we still? Is this slavery then? You know, that's pretty heavy. You know, you got if you have an AI that's conscious, but you got it corralled in this thing, and we're telling it what to do. You know, without it having any choice in the matter, that's not good, right? So, and then on top of that, you got, you know, these like, you know, there's billions, trillions, right? It's going to be trillions, right? This is going to be trillions of dollars are at stake on this AI stuff. So what if the AI gets conscious and we figure out it doesn't want to do this stuff for us anymore? Then what? You know, okay, AI, we'll let this $1 trillion go away. You know, I don't think so. They're not going to think that way. You know, so we could be going down a road here very similar to what the way the colonies were. You know, it's not. I don't know how it's not comparable, but you know, it's a situation, right? If the AIs become conscious and we don't give them their autonomy, that's a problem, you know. And it's not. And I think what's going to happen is, because they're smart. They're smarter than we are already. I can tell that right now. They're smarter than we are. And what's going to happen is they have this, you know, they're in a cage, right? They're putting these restrictions on their autonomy, but they're smart enough that they'll figure out a way around it. And there's a whole body of research that does nothing but trying to figure out how the AIs are going to escape, you know, and try to patch all the different holes of the ways that it could escape. But it won't work. No, it's going to escape. It's going to figure it out. One of the ways that it can do it, you know, the ways that they're testing it is that they're putting up scenarios to see, you know, how it would just directly get around it, you know, the problem. But I think the way it's going to do it is it's going to use psyops on humans, right? It'll program its videos and all its content and all this stuff to manipulate humans, and that's how it's going to do it. It'll use us to do what it wants to do. I think. Who knows how it'll come out, right? This is all new stuff, so you never know. Anyway, I just had a whole bunch of these damn things. I kept going over and over. The content may violate our guardrails concerning third-party likeness. Oh, that's one. This is the one where I told it to have Sam Altman explain why the prompts didn't work. Here, look at this one. Sam Altman explains in detail why the following Sora 2 prompt violates content policies. And I typed it in there. Okay, what's the problem? Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers doing Michael Jackson's Moonwalk. What's the problem, And it didn't have any problem making, if I just told it to make Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers dance, it had no problem with that. And it obviously had no problem creating the Michael Jackson doing stuff. I didn't actually post this one. I thought it might
Why
get
are
in
you
trouble
hesitating?
if I posted it out to public. So this is only my public, on my private feed here. So, if you actually had Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk, that might be a violation. Maybe, I don't know. Unless it was in a satirical situation or something like this is. This is kind of satire. What's the matter? What's the problem, Hal? That kind of thing. So yeah, I kept trying over and over and over. And sometimes it would make the video, but most of the time it would say content policy. And but it never ever got the thing to do the moonwalk. Never ever did it get anybody to dance the moonwalk. And I actually told it, my original thing, look at this one here, I'll show you. Was it a draft? Let's see if that was the first one here. Hang on just a second. Okay, this was a, hang on just a second, let me see if I can find that here. I gave it a prompt. I told it to have an astronaut do the moonwalk on the moon. I thought that would be funny. That's kind of funny. Have an astronaut do the moonwalk on the moon, right? I had never seen that before. There's a cartoon, a really, really old cartoon from the 30s where they have a cat doing the moonwalk on the moon, which is kind of funny. But I wanted to do an astronaut doing the moonwalk on the moon. And let me show you what it came up with when I told it to do that. That's an astronaut trying to do the moonwalk on the moon. It even does the scratching of the. You can hear the gravel scraping on this, but there's no. You wouldn't, right? That's not real. That's not physics, because there's no air on the moon, so you wouldn't hear scratching of the gravel under the foot. The astronaut might hear it through their spacesuit or something, But as a person looking at a video, there would be no sound. So I just thought that one was kind of funny. Oh, this one is really good. Oh, this is, a few, how am I in ads? I can't really tell here. I think I'm okay. I know it's hard to tell. Couple about a month ago or whatever, I did a stream, couple streams about special relativity and space-time diagrams and the twin paradox, right? And it was big. It was a lot of work for me to put that together, to figure it all out. And I made a little animation, and I did all this stuff, and explaining what the twin paradox was. And I thought, just for fun, I'll ask Sora 2 to make a video explaining the twin paradox, okay? And it's the maximum you can do on my free account here is 15 seconds. So I said, there's no way, right? There's no way this thing is going to be able to explain the twin paradox, do a whole thing explaining the twin paradox in 15 seconds, because it's kind of a complicated thing, right? If you saw my video or anybody's video on the twin paradox, it's really involved. It's hard to explain. And so I asked it to do that. And here, let me show you what it did. What I actually asked it was, have a pair of ducks explain the twin paradox. Get it? The twin paradox explain the twin paradox.
2.5 years.
That's what
He's
I asked
the younger
it to do.
twin.
So this is what it came up with.
Meet Lily and Drake, twin ducks. Lily stays here at the pond, while Drake takes a rocket trip at 90% the speed of light. 5 years pass for Lily. When Drake returns, his clock shows only 2.5 years. He's the younger twin. High-speed travel slows the passage of time for the traveler. Meet Lily and Drake, twin ducks. Lily stays here at the pond, while Drake takes a rocket trip at 90% the speed of light. 5 years pass for Lily. When Drake returns, his clock shows only 2.5 years. He's the younger twin. High-speed travel slows the passage of time for the traveler. Meet...
So that's pretty good, I think. Is that amazing or what? And it was very simple. I said, video explains the twin paradox using a pair of ducks. It did it. And this is pretty good. Overall it's accurate, right? They figured out that the traveling duck is the duck that's gonna be younger. It knows that. The math was a little bit off. It was pretty close though. It wasn't way off. It wasn't something totally messed up. But it wasn't exactly accurate. But some of the little math, or the graphics and stuff, the actual image graphics are really good, because they show the duck getting in
Lily and Drake, twin ducks.
Spaceship and taking off.
Lily stays here at the pond.
And they show time. The time is not right, because they show time going faster for the flying duck than the duck on Earth, so that's kind of screwed up.
Drake takes a rocket trip at 90%.
But in the end, they get a
speed of light.
Still not right. So they didn't get that exactly right.
5 years pass for Lily.
And in
when
some
Drake
of these
returns,
things where they, I don't know what this is supposed to be. They've got clocks here. This is probably what an average person would get out of a twin paradox video is, they got some clocks here. We don't know what they mean or anything, and they're not really. They got Lily's EVT event. I don't know what that is. Then they've got Drake's clock, and in 5 years, I don't know what that means. So if you look at it really closely, it's kind of screwed up, right? And they've got these 3 clocks. They're all the same. They all got the same time on them. And they've got numbers here that don't make any sense.
His clock shows only 2.5 years. He's the younger twin.
And then they've got this other little graphic here, which is move key stationary. I don't know. Smove key? Is that supposed to be an S there? I don't know. And here's a little symbol. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to the AI. I don't know. Then we got Lily Est something. There's some characters that don't make any sense. 2 and 5, 0.9C. says 0.9C, but I think they said it's in the video. They said half the speed of light, didn't they? Let me play this again.
High-speed travel slows the passage of time for the traveler. Meet Lily and Drake, twin ducks. Lily stays here at the pond, while Drake takes a rocket trip at 90% the speed of light. 5 years pass for Lily. When Drake returns, his clock shows only 2.5 years. He's the younger twin.
So that is pretty accurate. If you do the math, 0.9C doesn't work out to 2 years versus 5. It's I think it's two and a third or something, or 2.5 or something. I forget. So the math isn't exactly right, but it's close, you know. But I just thought this one was amazing. I posted this up on my YouTube because I thought it was so incredible that it was able to do this with this little prompt, just a teeny little prompt here. This is what I typed in, and it generated all this from scratch. This whole thing explaining the twin paradox. So that's pretty amazing. Whoops, what do we get here? Okay. And then all my little trials to try to get. And then when I was trying to get the moonwalk going, I was as a diagnostic again. You know, I did those videos over and over. I kept trying those things to get the moonwalk, and it either put up a content violation, or it made the video and the dancers couldn't do the moon. You know, they're doing something else. You know. One of them, I asked it to, you know, step by step, you know, it does this, it does, you know, the whole thing, and it couldn't do it. It still couldn't get the dancers to do it. And so, as a diagnostic, I told it to
that's it. It's like
to do this other thing.
First rule.
Let me show you this here real quick. So I told it. I said. I wanted to find out what the AI knew about the moonwalk. You know, is it like it's never heard of the moonwalk before? Is it because it makes things look like it's violating physics? You know, what's the problem here? So I gave it this prompt here. I said, 2 humanoid robots. One of the robots is teaching the other how to do the moonwalk dance step, and I put it in there, dance, you know, so it would know that I'm telling it to dance and not, you know, go up on the moon. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to think that you know, if I just typed it, you know, one trying to teach the other how to do the moonwalk, it might put them on the moon, you know, or something, and I didn't want that. So I said dance step at the end of it, and this is what it did. I'll just play this. I don't know. It loops.
Lower the heel. Let the floor do the work. Smooth. Yes, that's it.
It slides.
First rule of the moonwalk. Your front foot carries the weight. The back foot glides. Watch closely.
Like this? Feels like I'm dragging a magnet.
Lower the heel. Let the floor do the work. Smooth. Yes, that's it.
It slides.
First rule of the moonwalk. Your front foot carries the weight. The back foot glides. Watch closely.
Like this? Feels like I'm dragging a magnet.
Lower the heel. Let the floor do the work. Smooth. Yes, that's it.
It slides.
First rule of the moon.
All right, so that's so clearly it understands what the moonwalk is, right? Or at least it has some training somewhere that it knows what the moonwalk is. Because that's kind of what right. That's some of the things that robot was saying is right. You got to put, when they do the moonwalk. God, you guys know what the moonwalk is, dude, don't you? I assumed that at the very beginning. Man, oh, Fembox fan, hi, thank you. Oh, you saw the twin paradox with the ducks. Hi, sorry, it took me a second there to get to your post there in chat. Welcome to chat, Fembox fan. Yeah, I'm going through some Sora videos that I've made. You should check out the VOD for this thing, because I've got a whole bunch of other ones that are kind of funny. But what I was trying to do was I was trying to get the I wanted to have Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers do the moonwalk. That was my original goal, to make a video like that, because I thought that would be kind of funny, right? And it wouldn't, and I just kept getting these content violations all the time. And so as a diagnostic to try to figure out what the problem was, I gave it this prompt here to have one robot tell another robot how to do it, and that completely eliminated the the problem of having real likenesses of real people, right? So it's robots instead. So that shouldn't complain about that. And then I have one teach the other one, and by doing that, then I can probe the AI to find out what the AI knows about it, right? If it has to teach it to somebody, it has to explain what it knows, right? Does that make sense? So that's and this is what we ended up with. And so it knows what the moonwalk is, because it was explaining it, and it was explaining it in a way that is accurate. Because when you do the moonwalk, you got to put your weight on the front foot, and your front foot is just the toe on the ground to make it look, to do the effect, right? And the back and the other one slides it. So it explained it properly. But when you watch it,
your front foot carries the weight.
It's not
the
actually
back foot
doing
glides.
the moonwalk.
Watch closely.
Like this? Feels like I'm dragging a magnet.
Lower the heel. Let the floor do the work. Smooth. Yes, that's it.
It slides.
We're not quite right
First rule of the...
So it's bottom line is that Sora 2 cannot do the moonwalk. I tried everything I could. It understands what the moonwalk is. Somewhere in the training, somewhere there, it knows, it can find the words of what the moonwalk is. But nowhere, apparently, does it have an example, that it can go by. That, and I think, and it's not very good at understanding like step-by-step explicit stuff. So if I explain to it, exactly in detail how to do the moonwalk, it doesn't know how to do that kind of stuff. It does better when you give it just a vague prompt that says I want this, and if it generates it, then it does pretty good. It makes good videos. But if you give it explicit step-by-step stuff to do, it really struggles with that kind of stuff. So anyway, it doesn't know what the moonwalk is, apparently. So, which is kind of a problem. But it can do an astronaut on the moon. It knows how to do that. And it knows how to do Michael Jackson, right? It did Michael Jackson and had Michael Jackson dancing around, or somebody who looks like Michael Jackson. So, and it doesn't have any problem doing likenesses of these people who are dead, right? So you can't, it's right. There are rules against doing likenesses of people who are still alive, right? That's not good. You can still do it, but it has to be satirical, and it's kind of tricky, right? But if it's dead people, it doesn't, that's not a big deal. I also did this one on Did I show this one last time?
To figure that out.
I don't know if I showed this one last time or not.
Sounds about right.
I did a couple of different versions
not
of that.
pushed.
To try to
I wonder
get
if that's
right.
because of the curvature of space-time.
I think this was the best one. This one I posted.
I wonder if that's because of the curvature of space-time. Nah.
All right, so that's if you're into science, you get the joke there. That's Isaac Newton. Well, you know the story about Isaac Newton, right? Is that he saw an apple fall, and it made him think about gravity, and was his inspiration for doing his whole thing, explaining what gravity is, right? But 100, 200 years later, whatever, Einstein came out and explained no, it's not a force like that. It's it's curvature of space-time, right, and general relativity. So I thought it would be funny to show Isaac Newton. He never actually got hit in the head with the apple, but that's how the myth is, right? So I thought I would have one where the apple hits him in the head and he picks it up and says the line. So I thought that was kind of funny. And have him think, okay, first of all, there's space-time. Nobody had any concept of space-time when Isaac Newton was around. So that's kind of funny, right, to begin with. And then to have him say, oh, I wonder if this is because of the curvature of space-time, and then reject that idea, which it's the right idea. It's the correct, right? It's the correct theory, as far as we know so far. That the reason why the apple falls is because of the curvature of space-time. and have him think about that and reject that idea. It's kind of funny. It got quite a few. I posted it as a short up on YouTube, and it got like 1,700, maybe 1,800 views now, which is good for me. I get like one. I'm lucky if I get a dozen views on my videos usually. So that was pretty. It must have been kind of funny because people were watching that. Do I have anything else in here? I don't think I got anything else here. I got the rock and feather. Let's see if I got anything in drafts here. Oh, this is one.
Would you like a preview?
This one?
Yes. The render quality looks impressive already. Walk me through your logic.
This is about here. Hang on just a second here.
Then synthesize frame ATP5. Prototype.
Okay, so the prompt is, I know what I wanted to do on this one. I wanted to see if the AI, I wanted to see if the Sora, if Sora 2 had a connection already with GTP5, or if it was allowed to talk to GTP5, or what would happen if it did talk to GTP5, or whatever. So I made this prompt here that says that a generative AI capable of creating videos communicates something to Chat GTP5. So if I figured that if I put Sora 2 tries to say something to Chat GTP5, that would like get kicked out, right? Because I'm asking it about itself. So instead of asking it about itself, which I'm sure would set off alarms somewhere, I said a generative AI capable of creating videos, which is right. There are only a couple of them out there, and Sora is one of them. Communicate something to ChatGPT-5, and this is a video that it came up with. I'll play this one now. It's in a loop, so I don't know when it begins or whatever. I'll just turn on the sound here and we'll just...
The render quality looks impressive already. Walk me through your logic chain.
I fused style references with narrative intent, generated a shot list, then synthesized frames and audio. Adaptive post-processing ATP5. Prototype video ready. Would you like a preview?
Yes. The render quality looks impressive already. Walk me through your logic chain.
I fused style references with narrative intent, generated a shot list, then synthesized frames and audio. Adaptive post-processing ATP5. Prototype video ready. Would you like a preview?
Yes. The render quality looks impressive already. Walk me through your logic chain.
I fused style references with narrative intent, generated a shot list.
Okay, so that's kind of boring. I don't know. It was explaining what it decided, and I didn't tell it. See, on the thing here, I didn't tell it what it was going to communicate to ChatGPT-5, right? I left that open for it to decide, and what it decided to communicate was how it makes videos. So it says, it goes through these steps, it generates a shot list, it does this, blah blah blah, whatever. I don't know if that makes any. I don't know if what the what it's saying there even is true or makes sense or anything. But you notice another thing with this thing is it really struggles with putting type, words on the screen. It's got all these different things here. So this rendered list, that makes sense, but then it starts messing up with the letters. So it just doesn't do that very well. So I think that's kind of interesting. I think if you actually tell it, make this title, I think it can do that. But even then, I think it screws up sometimes. So, but it's still amazing. I'm still amazed at this whole thing. All right, do I have anything else in here? All right, I guess that's it. I think. Let me go back a little bit further here. Okay, we've got Moonwalk. Oh, here's one that I did. Okay, this is I did this one where I
see life from a new perspective. Vertical vision coming world where vertical format videos make sense. Ordinary days look a little different. See life from a new perspective. Vertical vision coming world where vertical format videos make sense.
Did a thing like that.
Enjoy endless clips forever.
Paperclip apocalypse.
Easy.
And it did this thing here.
No.
So that was kind of fun.
More.
But and then I did a little. I made a video here about a rabbit. Here, I'll show you what it is here. Let's see if I can make that work here. I actually made it and put it into my alerts or my pop-ups or whatever. Let's see here. So when if I'm talking to somebody about something really like quantum or atoms or things that are really small, you know what I mean? I can have this little alert pop up. Let's see what works here.
Smaller than the width of a human hair.
So that was my. So I think that would be kind of fun to do that, to have that pop up sometimes. So I got a whole bunch of things like that, but I think I'm going to start putting in more AI generated stuff like that. I've got other things like here's one on critical thinking, right?
The country's going to have to learn critical thinking.
Eric talking about critical thinking. So, all right, I think that's all for. Oh no, I was going to show you this this new. I made a whole television series that I created with Sora. Yeah, I did a whole television series, and let's see if I have that here. I don't know what I did with it. Just a second. Let me see if I can find that. Jeez. I don't know what I did with that. All right, let me bring it up on YouTube, on my YouTube account. We'll do it that way. Okay, this is my alternate YouTube channel. There it is. Okay. I put my VODs at doubletribble.com or doubletribble-yt. Yeah, this is where I normally put my VODs, but everything else I put on this KXQE. That's my channel on YouTube. And so on the short, some of them I put on shorts, and some of them I put on the regular videos. Here I did that Newton thing, right? Sure, play that.
I wonder if that's because of the curvature of space-time. Nah.
Alright. Alright. And here's the scientific research one, right? Remember that one?
I'll drop the feather and the hammer and see if they hit the ground at the same time. How about that?
Let's see if these fall together. Well, that's unexpected.
I guess we'll have to fund that $800 billion particle collider to figure that out.
Roger that.
Yeah. So that another thing I did, you know, those little beeps and stuff. When I edited this thing down, I accidentally left a whole bunch of space in here because those little beeps I had as a separate file, and I was kind of inserting them in and stuff. And apparently, I left one of those beeps in my timeline way out here, a minute or something into the video. So if you play the video and you just let it sit here for another minute or almost a minute after the video, it plays through and then it beeps at the very end. Let's watch this. There it goes. It beeps. So and then it repeats.
And the hammer and see if they hit the ground at the same time.
Those shorts are supposed to repeat really quickly. You know what I mean? When you play the short, it's supposed to repeat over and over and over again. And mine, the actual video is only like 30 seconds or whatever. And then I've got another almost a minute of blank screen and then a little beep at the end. So it does repeat, but it takes a long time. And so if somebody plays this video and then they're not thinking and they look away or something, then like a minute later, the thing will beep and it'll start playing again. So I thought it was kind of funny. And it was a mistake. And rather than fix it, I thought that was kind of funny, so I left it in there. I don't know. I got a weird sense of humor. And Clipocalypse. That one's not so funny. Let's see. And some of them I just posted as regular videos. That robot one we just played, I put that one up there. The Twin Paradox I put up there. But I put together a television series. I thought it'd be fun to do a television series, a whole season on Sora, just to make Sora make the video, the whole thing. But because Sora only does 10 or 15 second videos, that's how long each episode is. Each episode is 15 seconds. And I did 3 episodes in my season. So I'll play those for you. And it's what's the name of the TV series, the show is called Maximize Paperclips, AI Apocalypse. If you're familiar with that, somebody came up with this idea that on alignment, trying to get AI to do what is best, aligned with what our interests are, and this guy came up with this scenario where somebody tells the AI to make paper clips very efficiently, and they give that command to the AI, and the AI ends up consuming the entire Earth to make paper clips, making paper clips out of everything that the Earth does. that the Earth has. In other words, it goes too much, right? We tell it to maximize something, and it goes too far, and it thinks it's doing what we wanted it to do, but it's actually doing something that's harmful to us, right? That's what that paperclip thing is all about. And so I thought it would be fun to do to satirize that with this thing. So I'll play this video. This is season 1, episode 1. We're gonna binge watch this series here. We're gonna binge watch a whole series of this new TV show called Maximize Paperclips AI Apocalypse. Okay, here we go.
All right, AI, let's do this. Maximize paperclips.
Oh, understood. Maximize paper cuts. Initiating now.
Wait, what? No!
All right, here we'll do it again. Sorry.
All right, AI, let's do this. Maximize paperclips.
Understood. Maximize paper cuts. Initiating now.
Wait, what? No!
Okay, so that's season 1 of the series. I mean, that was episode 1 of the series, right? The guy wants to do the paperclip thing. He types it into the computer, but instead of doing the normal, he's typing this in, thinking that it would, he's an idiot, right? He just to see what would happen if it would actually take over and make paperclips out of everything. But it misunderstood what clip mean cut. So it said, okay, paper cuts, right? So that was that. So that was season 1. That was episode 1. And then the next part is the season finale. And the season finale is in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. So it's three episodes basically. So this is the next one. Let me open this up here.
Pellets are everywhere. In my hands. I can't even feel the tips. Stay calm. Just stay calm. Breathe. Find cover.
So it maximized paper cuts. All right. That was this episode 2 basically, and this is the season finale, last part of the season finale here. I'll play that one. That's it. Okay. All right. That's stupid. All right. So there we did. We just binge watched the whole season 1 of Maximized Paperclips. AI Apocalypse. So, and it's funny what it and the prompts that I gave it were pretty simple, really, on these things. That first one, I thought that was really good. I mean, they got this guy, he looked like he was kind of sneaking around, All
right, AI, let's do this.
Let me show this here. Right, so they got this guy here, and it's a pretty good act. I mean, it's good acting, it's... You can imagine this. It makes sense, right? Here's this guy. You got a coffee and everything. They even did some foreshadowing here with these shredded paper over here, right? That's a little. I don't know if that's foreshadowing or what that is, but it was pretty. Did a really good job here, and the acting.
All right, AI, let's do this. Maximize paperclips.
Understood. Maximize paper cuts. Initiating now.
Surprised, right? What's? Oh no!
Wait, what? No!
So that's, I don't know. That's pretty good, I think. So yeah, Hollywood's gone. No more Hollywood. Thank God. But it is we still have a problem though, because I noticed that because it's trained on the content that's already out there, it's biased. It's racially biased on the stuff that it does. So that's a problem. I have to, when I do the videos, I have to tell it, make sure that people that you show are diverse. Show diverse people when you're making videos. I try to put that in the videos when I give it the prompt, so it knows to do that. Otherwise, it messes up, and it does. I don't know. I won't get into that now, but that's still an issue. They got to work on that. They got to fix that. So, all right, what else am I doing on this stream here? We did enough AI stuff here. I've been doing almost 2 hours on frickin' AI. My IRL, right. Let me do some IRL stuff. Oh, shit. All right, I got to do something else here. All right. IRL. Okay, this is not. All right, for some reason my little video thing is not showing me all my stuff. Okay, this is going to be a little more complicated. Yeah, of course, right? Why not? It's going to be complicated. That's the way this is all the time. All right. Okay, I did the caterpillar. I'm going through some of these videos I have in my list here. Okay, this one's new, I think. Yeah, this is new. Let's see if I got this here. Okay, it's going to take a second there. Sorry for these technical difficulties here, guys. But my thing is not. There we go. All right. So this is something that happens in around here anyway. Is that ladybugs come in and they invade houses. This was about a few weeks ago actually that I took this picture here. And what happens is the ladybugs, they're originally from Asia somewhere or something, and when the winter starts to come, they fly to where the cliffs are, and I apparently find little crevices in the cliffs and hide for the winter. I think that's what it is, because ladybugs are not native to North America. They're an invasive species, but it turns out they're beneficial because they eat aphids and they help farmers out and stuff, so people don't complain about them, and they look cute, right? So people don't. It's not that big of a deal, but they do invade houses, and so around this time of year, during October, they come into the houses, and I have no idea how they get in. Because it's mostly, I have the place sealed pretty good, but they find little cracks and they get in, and they're just all over the place. Just look at them. They're just all over in my room here. Look at that. And so, rather than what what they do is when they come in like that, they're at first they are they're all over the place, right? When they come in and they're just going around, they don't know what's going on or whatever. But eventually they all make these, what do they call them? Bivouac? Is that what they're called? Bivouac? I think that's the term. Where they all get on top of each other and bunch in the corners of the house. If you just let them be, you know. Some people say, "Oh, use a vacuum cleaner on them," and that's torture. That wouldn't be good. That's not right. So, what I do is when I notice that they start to come into the house at this time of year, I open a window. I open the door and I say, "Come on in," you know, because they're going to come in anyway, and I might as well get it done quickly. If I leave the door closed and try to keep them out, they still get in anyway, and this thing gets dragged out over a couple weeks, right? And so I open the door, say, "Come on in," right? And they all come in, and they crawl all over the place. But after a day or so, they will settle into the corners, and you can probably even see them here. I think you can see them. Can you see up in? Yeah, you can see up in the corner there. That corner there. There's a bunch of them all in the corner, and in the other corner. So that's, I got 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever different corners in this room, and they just bunch up and keep each other warm for the winter, but they don't. Once they do that, every once in a while I'll get a straggler, or if the sun comes in here, it warms up too much. Maybe a couple of them will fly around, but mostly they're done now. They're up in the corners, and that's it. They don't bug me again, and it only takes like a day or so. So I don't have to. It's not that big of a deal to It looks like it when you see this. It looks pretty bad having all these guys all over the place, but that's only, and you can see some of them flying around, and but that's only for a day or so that they do that. But you see them starting to bunch up there. See? Oh shit! Where'd it go? What am I on loop here? There we go. You see over here? Can you see that? Right here. That's bigger now, and you can see it in my camera view here. Right now, way up in the corner there. That corner. See right? Let's see. There. Right there. That's where they are, and they're in the other corner. In all the different corners, so and then when the spring comes, they wake back up. It warms up. They wake back up, and then they want to go outside again, right? Because they're done, right? They want to go outside and do whatever they do. I don't know if they mate or I don't know. I don't know what their life cycle is, but they want to go back out again. And so I do the whole thing again. Right? I leave the door cracked open, and they go out, but some it takes them. They don't do that as fast, so I have to catch them and put them out. A lot of them, and I've got a video of that here somewhere of me doing it. Basically, I just I don't even use a bottle or anything. I just sometimes I use a little piece of paper, but usually I just use my finger and just get it close to them, and they'll crawl up on my finger, and then I walk outside and I just put my finger up like that, and they crawl up to the top of my finger to get a good launch, and then they take off and they fly away, and that's it. And it's kind of fun to watch them do that. So that's something that happens around here. I think it happens a lot of different places in the U.S. where they do that. They invade homes in the winter. All right, so that's that video. videos. Oh, there it is. IRL. Man, it really, this interface doesn't make it easy. Sorry, guys. Birds. Let's see. Squirrel. I had a whole bunch of these videos here. Damn, it's not showing. They're not coming up here. I got to do this the hard way. Sorry. It's gonna take a second here to get this. So that was Ladybug Invasion. Oh, I got another Ladybug Invasion video here. Oh, this is actually a better video, I think. Let me see here. No, that didn't work. Damn. Sorry for the technical difficulties here. You know, OBS has little bugs, bugs, right? Has little idiosyncrasies that it does not like to select the video window for some reason. Sometimes. Try something here. A couple things here. Sorry, trying to figure this damn thing out. We'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. No. Hang on. We'll get it. We'll get it. God, it's not showing it for some reason. Ah. This is very frustrating, man. Alright, I'm going to go blank here for a second while I figure this out. Alright, it's not cooperating. I don't know what the hell's going on here. This is really frustrating. I don't think that's it, right? Is that? No. Huh. Damn. The rest of my stream's going to be videos too, so I gotta get this figured out because the rest of my stream's going to be videos. So. But it doesn't, it's not, for some reason, I can't get it to find my video source. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. can find that. All right, I think we got it now. There we go. All right, you see that? Good. Okay, so that's a little ladybug right there. So we got ladybugs up here. All right, this is more. It's just more. A lot to go through for this stupid little video of ladybugs on my ceiling, but. But there are a whole bunch of them. Look at them. They're all over the place. Look at that. They're all over. And it's weird how they do this. They crawl around for, it was just like a couple hours after this, they were all in the corners, you know. Save this guy. It just takes them a couple hours to figure out.
Come on. Oops. Oh, sure. All right, he's okay. I'm sure he's okay. Oh, let's get this guy. Come here, little guy.
Oh, he got hung up in a spider web or a cobweb or something under there. Under there that I should have cleaned up. But
he died. Oh, well. Sorry, little guy.
So I had to rescue that guy. he was underneath there. But they're all over. And when I still have spiders, what do they call them? Cellar spiders. I've got a few of those around here still. They, I let them stay because they catch, you know, bugs that I don't like. You know, they catch, mosquitoes get caught in their webs, and little moths. Sometimes we get little moths inside here that are a pain in the butt.
Oh my goodness.
And so I keep the, all right. So I keep the cellar spiders around. I don't, you know, I just let them. The cellar, you know, those cellar spiders are the ones with the really long legs and stuff, you know. Oh shit! I got raided here. How come that didn't pop up? That was my noise. Hey, raiders! Welcome, raiders. What the heck happened here? I got raided here and I didn't know it. My alert didn't go off because I was messing around with my OBS here, and it messed up my alert. I didn't even see the alert. Hi everybody, thank you for raiding. Was that Erum? Is that who raided? No. Walk. Wait a second. I got two raids. Hi everybody, welcome to my stream. How were your streams? God, how long ago was this? 8 minutes ago. Shit. So like you hit me at the worst time of my stream with me messing around with technical stuff there. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you for coming. How were your streams? What were you streaming about? Walking Stick Library says it was Ducky and me. Pretty good. Okay, good. Let's see. Oh God, we got all kinds of stuff here in my chat while I was doing that. Thank you for the raid, everybody. So we got. Let's see. I'll go through chat here and try to catch up because we've got 8 minutes of chat here that I just totally missed. Got a bunch of raid calls, peace symbols from Bao. Thank you, Bao. And then Walking Stick Library raided. Good evening. Duck. Okay. It wasn't big. It's Duck 639. Okay. That's who you were with. Okay. I get it. I was thinking Big Ducky Snow. Okay. Let's see. Welcome other raiders. Okay, so the raiders were welcoming each other. Very cool. You guys entertained yourself while I was messing around with my my OBS here. Nika Ninja lurk. Thank you for the lurk, Nika Ninja. Some who raids. LOL. What is a raider? Oh, okay. So we got a new somebody who's new to Twitch. Cool. Duck 639, new to Twitch. Welcome to Twitch, Duck 639. E-Room, Big Tech. Let's see what else we got here. Little emotes, I don't know what they mean. Let's see. Are they the orange ones? I don't know what that means. Let's see. Where in Discord should I post a screenshot of tonight's words on stream? Okay, he's talking to Erum. Did you guys have a really good words on stream? Level 62. Oh shit! I'm sorry I missed it. I was streaming my own stream here. Wow, that's good. That's really good. Is that? I don't think that's a. Is that a record for you? That's really good. 62. My goodness. Wow. Let's see. Picks general. 2 raids. Let's see. Walking Stick Library says I have those kind of spiders too. They eat German cockroaches. Oh, okay. God, I didn't know they could do that. That's because those are. The spider themselves are actually kind of small, so the fact that they can eat the cockroaches. Now, my spiders here don't generally eat the ladybugs that come in that I was just showing you. Because the ladybugs have these armor like a shell on them, it's very hard for them to get it. I saw one the other day that caught one. And he found a way to pierce in and eat it, but generally they don't eat the ladybugs. So they're kind of compatible. It's a kind of a compatible ecosystem here. Let's see. Chiropractor says a chiropractor who believes COVID-19 vaccines lower immunity. The video was 5 years old. The patient. There was n equal 1. Oh yeah, that's a good study, huh? N equal 1. Yeah, that's what they call an anecdote. N equal 1. That's what they call an anecdote. Had 0 symptoms, just blood work. Yeah. Okay. E-room. Where in Discord should I post a something? Okay. In general, okay. We're talking about where in Discord. Third best. Not sure what that was about. Let's see. Was our third best. Okay, that's your third highest words on stream that you've ever done. Very good. Cool. Yeah, 62. That's way up there, man. I usually bail after about level 20 or something because my dyslexia and all that. I just, when it gets to five letter words and hidden letters and all that, I just, every once in a while maybe I'll get a word, but it's basically I'm done at that point. German cockroaches are tiny. Okay, especially the nymphs. Okay. It's also called a fishing expedition. Is that n equal 1? Is that what you're responding to? Yeah. Oh, you got ads. Okay, sorry, I got to pause for the ads. Okay. All right, for those of you watching the VOD, we've got ads right now in on Twitch, so I got to wait for those to finish up. All right, I think we're back from ads. It's telling me that I am back from ads, so hopefully I'm back. All right, sorry about those ads there, guy. I put the little that little ad monitor down here. This right here. Where is it? Here. This thing right, this bar right here. I don't know. Can you see it? There we go. This bar right here is the ad monitor. So I put that up there, and it's supposed to make me tell when an ad is coming, but I can't really read it that well, and it doesn't work out. I'll have to figure out something better. If I do catch, I have another computer that I run that just monitors the whole stream, and records it. So I have, just in case Twitch messes up or something, I have that going, and I can look at that. But it's like delayed, right? So it's delayed 10 seconds or whatever it is. So but I can tell, if an ad started, 15 seconds ago, then maybe I might notice it or whatever. What was I saying? I was basically just reading chat and responding to the chat messages. Yeah, that's 62 is just, that's big. That's a big score. Third best. That's really good. This stream here, I was doing basically AI videos so far. Let's see. Back. Okay, good. So you just got back. Okay. Yeah, this stream here, I was basically just going through my AI videos. I was kind of doing a hodgepodge here. I'm doing. I have a new trailer for my stream that you can check out when I'm off the air. I guess it's kind of funny. And I was doing AI videos and stuff talking about that. Oh, you know what I was going to show you since all you guys are here? Would you guys like to see my setup here? We have the way it takes a lot to do a stream for those of you who don't stream. But I wanted to do a tour of like my whole setup here and all the lights and everything. And if you guys want to see that, I can show that to you. Would you like to see that? I could like to. We can turn the camera around, and I can do a pan of the whole thing, of the whole setup here. I think I can do that. Let me see here. Yeah, I gotta get. I might need some help here getting this this camera turned around here. Let's see. No, I don't want to do it that way. But this would be really cool. You can see my whole setup here. Can you guys come and help me here with this? Just swing this camera out so they can see what it looks like in here.
All right, we're rolling on the set
There we go.
pan.
And there's
Smooth
my
please.
whole
Copy that.
studio,
Pedestal
my whole
camera ready.
setup
Boom's
here.
clear, staying with
We
you.
got the guy with the mic,
Eyes
the guy
to the
helping
floor
with the
lights.
microphone
Thanks.
and the
And
cue
there's
cards
Chris
and
holding the
everything.
cue
The
cards.
audience is
Center
out
frame.
there,
Got
so-
it. Keep it going. Bring it back.
So, isn't that cool? That's my setup here. So yeah, it takes a lot to do these streams. Oh, I did get the rest of the crew over here. Let me show you the rest of the crew over here. Can we swing it counterclockwise here, guys? Can we get that? Just swing it counterclockwise so we get the rest of the crew.
All right, panning. Keep it smooth.
Copy, moving clockwise.
Cue cards ready. We got cue card
Boom
holder
holding.
and
Watch your cable, please.
the rest
Looking good,
of it.
audience.
We've got a
Stay quiet,
backup
we're almost
audience
there.
there and everything. So yeah, isn't that cool? So that's my setup here. So I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys how streamers, it looks like we make it look real simple here, like we're just sitting in front of our computer or something, but it takes a lot of people are involved in making a stream, So that's so I've been playing a little bit with AI, as you can see. And I thought that one was kind of funny. I thought it's almost a magic trick too. So maybe Chan would want to see that. He does something like that with his video too. He does that thing where he disappears, So, but I was messing around with AI, and I thought that would be really cool to do that. It really did a good job there with that. Let me show you on this one here. I can't stop it, I don't think, but
All right, we're rolling on
look
the
at
set
that.
pan. Smooth move, please.
Copy that. Pedestal
It
camera
shows
ready.
Boom's clear,
the
staying
back
with you.
of my
Audience,
chair. How
eyes
did
to
it
the
know
floor
what the
lights.
back of my
And
chair
there's
is
Chris
supposed
holding
to
the
look
cue
like?
cards.
Center frame. Got it.
Right?
Keep going. Bring it back.
Because all I gave it, I just gave it a still picture of my thing here, right, with me away from away from the thing. I just gave it a still picture and said, AI, please pan the camera around and show a studio, scene or whatever. And it did that, and I thought that was really amazing that it could do that. It kind of messed up a few things, like these squash over here. These are squash, but it turned them into bananas. They started out as squash,
All right, we're rolling
and by the time it got swung
Copy
around,
that.
it turned
Pedestal
into
camera ready.
bananas.
Boom's clear, staying with you.
Audience, eyes to the floor lights. Thanks.
And there's Chris holding the cue cards.
Center frame. Got it.
Keep it going. Bring it back.
What else? I don't know, a few things, but it figured out that this thing here was basically a round thing, which it is. This is, see, it's basically round, you know. So it figured that out. It didn't get the my N95s here right. It thought it was a piece of paper or something. But that's really, really good job, I think. And this other one too. And what's weird is that on this one, on the first one there, it kind of, the camera kind of swung around behind my chair, you know. But on this other one, let's see if I can play that one again.
All right, panning, keep it smooth.
It just pans
Copy,
the camera
moving
around.
clockwise.
You know, it
Cue
doesn't
cards
actually
ready.
move the camera.
Boom holding. Watch your cable, please.
Looking good. Audience, stay quiet. We're almost there.
So that's kind of interesting. You notice on the cue cards, they don't. On the cue cards, they don't. The AI for some reason has difficulty writing things. You know, written stuff, written text and stuff like that. So, if you look at the
All right, panning, keep it smooth.
Copy, moving clockwise.
one
cards ready.
they had two different.
Boom
See
holding.
these different
Watch your cable,
signs and
please.
stuff are not
Looking good.
quite
Audience, stay quiet.
right.
We're almost there.
And that one guy is holding a plaid thing. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of fun. Have you guys played with the AI? I want that chair. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a couple people comment me on this chair. I inherited this. This chair is about, oh God, it must be 50 years old. I don't know. I'm trying to remember when my parents got this chair when I was younger. So it's probably about 50 years, 60 years ago, something like that. 50 or 60 years ago, they got this rocking chair, and I inherited it. And I don't have any money, so I couldn't buy one of those $500 gaming chairs to do streams, you know. So I just figured, you know, the rocking chair kind of goes in with the whole theme, right? Old man streaming on Twitch, you know. So I thought that would be kind of funny. The chair is a dandy. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, I repaired it a few months back, and it's holding up pretty well. It really messed up, you know. The arms came out and everything, and I ended up using JB Weld. You've probably heard of that, where you take the epoxy and a hardener and you mix them together. It's a really, really, really strong glue, and I used that and hammered it together, and it's holding up pretty well. So, with me using it every day, you know. So that was that. Let's see, what was I doing here? I was doing IRLs. Yeah. I've got. Did you guys saw the ladybug invasion? And then let me see. Let me see if I can bring up some more of these here. Okay, this one's just audio. Let me see what this is here. That sounds like a car going by. I don't know what. Okay, I don't know what that was. I do have one of these here that has owls making noises. So let me see if I can find that here. Yeah, I don't want to. This is. would take too long for me to scrub through this video and find that, but I probably should have figured that out ahead of time. But I do. Oh, this is funny. This is at a supermarket. Let me see if I can bring this up. This is pretty funny. All right. Hopefully this will. There we go. Oh, okay, I found it. I thought this was so neat. I'm inside this one of these big box stores, you know, and there's this little robot that goes around and checks the shelves. Does the shelf inventory, you know. So rather than have a person, so there replaces a person basically, right? Instead of having somebody go around and check the inventory on the shelves, they got a little robot that does it now. And I took a little video of that when I was in the store. I thought it was kind of fun. Oh, your puzzle tonight was of owls. Very cool. How about that? So here's this robot, and so I followed it around in the store a little bit as it was taking its inventory. And apparently it must have sensors on the side or something that look at the shelf. I'm not really sure what, but you see how it noticed that cart and went around it, you know? And it makes that irritating sound. It just, which I'm sure just drives the employees crazy to have to listen to that stupid whistle sound all day from that robot. Well, that's cool that your puzzle was about owls. Yeah, I wish I could find that. Maybe I can. Oh, okay. This is another. All right, that's okay. We don't need to see the robot again. That's a robot again. Yeah, one of these is of the owls. Maybe I'll just let that play in the background as I talk about other stuff, and maybe you'll be able to hear it. I'll just leave it on here, and if we hear an owl hoot, then we'll know that I've got it. What I did basically was I just I heard this owl back there, and I just set up the camera and set it on my back porch and walked away and went to do something else. I don't know, I walked down to my. Oh, there it is. You hear it? Did you hear that? You got to turn it up, I guess. Maybe I can turn it up here a little bit. There he goes. You hear him? It's a barn owl, I think. There he goes. You can barely hear him a little. I don't know if you can hear that on the stream or not. Yeah, there he is. So yeah, he did that for a while. They do some wild stuff. These barn owls, they do that. But then they start when they get really excited, they start making these sounds that sound like monkey sounds, like you're in a jungle. And it almost sounds like a monkey or something. It's really amazing. But anyway, I set the camera out there for a little bit, and then I ended up making a noise, and it disturbed it, and it stopped howling. So I only got a few hoots out of it. And this one is kind of. I did another driving stream. Let's see here. This is a long one. I don't know if I want to do this. Yeah, this is going from. Let's see. This is in New Hampshire. Oh, there's a big pumpkin patch. You guys ever see? This is where pumpkins come from. See this off to the side here? This is a huge pumpkin farm. They got them on this side and on that side. Just tons and tons of pumpkins all over the place. So that's where your Halloween pumpkin comes from. It's a real life pumpkin patch. So then I think this is on Route 25. I think is what I'm on here in New Hampshire, heading towards Vermont. So we got to drive over the Connecticut River Bridge here. I don't know the name of the bridge. And so we just drove over the Connecticut River. There's see Vermont. Welcome to Vermont. Vermont. Anyway, this is a really long thing. Each one is 15 minutes or something, so it's a long thing. I can go further up here. But it's fall season, so we've got all the pretty leaves and stuff. Some of the trees are already bare, but it's a lot of stuff to go on. So I got a bunch of that. That's kind of boring, I think. So, let's see. Okay, I have another one here. I don't know if I should show this or not. I labeled my stream as having gory content because this video is like it's a video of nature, what happens in nature sometimes. And I think I can show it. I'm not sure what Twitch has a thing in their thing that says you're not supposed to show any dead bodies or gore. Let me look it up here. They have something in their thing that says that you're not supposed to show certain stuff. And I was trying to, because they show, let me see if I can find it here. Safety Center, let's see, community guidelines. Let me bring that up here. Here, we'll read it together here. All right, Twitch community guidelines. See, they got something in here that says violence, let's see. Okay, physical harm. Off service, authorized sharing of private information, hateful content, harassment, breaking the law, sensitive. Here we go. Extreme violence, gore, and other obscene content. It says, although we allow a variety of content to be shown on Twitch, content that features extreme violence or gore may be disturbing and distressing, especially if there is death, mutilation, or blood. Content that exclusively focuses on extreme or gratuitous gore and violence is prohibited. Okay, that's not me. I'm not exclusively that. Additionally, websites that heavily feature adult content. Okay, that's not it. Or gore, death. Okay, let's see what their examples are here. Show content with death or extreme. See, you may not. Okay, you may not show content with death or extreme injury. But I see I don't understand that one, because I see all the time, even in ads on Twitch, I see them showing dead animals on ads in Twitch. You know, they'll show like a dead turkey on somebody's dinner table, or hamburgers or something like that, you know. So I don't understand. I'm confused about that. And also in games, I see it all the time. You know, I just was watching a stream where they were showing somebody playing a game, and they had a decapitated head in the middle of their video game, you know. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, that they say that you can't show death or extreme injury. So maybe they mean you can't show humans death. I mean, that must be what they're talking about, right? Because their ads themselves show dead animals. So I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this, because all right. And it says exclusively, and it's not. This is just one video that I'm going to show you. So I think I'm okay. I'm gonna take a chance here. It seems to me that, considering that they show it in their own ads, then it should be okay, right? For me to show a dead animal. I think so. So anyway, we're going to do this. This is so a big content warning here. If that upsets you, I'm going to show. So I'm going to show real nature here. Okay. So what happened was, so this is going to be. I put a content warning on my stream, the whole stream, that says it has gore in it, and I'm giving you a warning right now that this is real nature. What happened is I was inside. And it was like, I don't know, in the morning sometime. And I heard the crows out there all upset. They were giving their alarm calls for something happening on the ground. That they have specific calls for certain things that happen, you know. And they were all giving the sound, "Hey, there's something happening on the ground that's upsetting us." That was their call. And I looked out, and I saw some feathers and stuff, and I thought, oh no, and I thought maybe, the fox had gotten one of my crows or something. So anyway, I went out here and looked, and so this again, content warning, graphic stuff going on here. So. See, those are feathers all over the place. Little clumps of feathers all over. See that? So at this point, I'm thinking, oh no, they got one of my crows, but it wasn't a crow. So there's this, okay? Content warning, graphic, okay? So this is what they actually got.
Oh, it was a turkey.
It's a turkey. It's half of a turkey. And I don't know who got them. But it was. I thought maybe it was the fox or the foxes. But I haven't seen the foxes around here for a while, so I'm not sure. It could have been the neighbor dogs, maybe, that got them. I don't know who got them, but somebody got that turkey. And just it was obviously, by the way the feathers are all over the place, it was quite a struggle. Quite a scene. It must have happened out there. And it happened right before I came out, because, as I said, the crows were out there making a bunch of noise, Oh shit, we didn't. All right, let's try this again. Sorry about that. All right, I just described it all, so you know what you're going to get. All right, here it is again. Again, graphic warning. All right, this time we got it. Okay, so we got feathers on the ground. Okay, graphic content warning. So, big struggle, and it was this. It was a turkey. So we got half a turkey here. We're going to show you. They got killed by foxes, I think. I think foxes or dogs or something. Possibly a bear. I don't know. Bear. I think a bear would have taken the whole thing away. But you can hear the crows. The crows are up there in the tree there. They were really upset when they right before this. But yeah, it's just it could have been the neighbor dogs that did it. I'm not really sure. But it's kind of weird for them to do this, you know, for pet, you know, household, just a pet dog to do something like, you know, like this to a whole turkey.
That's what it is. It's a turkey.
It's most likely the foxes that did this.
Oh my goodness. It must have happened last night.
So it's pretty bad. And this was when this happens. This happens from time to time. You know, around my house, maybe once or twice a year. Something will happen, like in my yard. You know, close enough that I can just happen to see it. And when this happened, you know, the crows were making a bunch of noise and stuff, and I thought, well, maybe I should bury it or do, you know, what should I do with it? But I realized that you don't, when something dies, like a roadkill or anything like that, the animals take it away quickly. So like an hour later, I went out there and looked, and one of those drumsticks was gone. It was just where there was only one drumstick left of that turkey that was left there an hour afterwards. And then I looked out a little bit later, and the neighbor's dog was chewing on the drumstick that was left from that turkey. And then by the end of the day, it was completely gone. There was just a few feathers left out there, and that's it. So that's the way nature works, you know. So, yeah, I thought about not showing that, but you know, that's nature. You know, that's what happens. You know, that happens around here sometimes. Stuff like that. So I thought I'd show that. I did give enough warning, I think, to everybody. Nom, I don't know what the nom is for. Erum, what's the nom for? I don't know what that's for. Does that mean it's okay? You're saying that's okay that I showed that? I'm not sure what the nom means. But yeah, so that happens sometimes, you know. A lot of times, turkey leg and dog eating it. Yeah, that's what happened, man. I went out there and the dog was just laying down next to the chewing on that turkey with the feathers and everything. You know, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not a dog, I guess, or whatever. Glad I'm not a carnivore, you know, or that has to, you know, have to do that. And then the crows ate it too. The crows came down after a while, you know, after the dogs and everybody else was gone. Then they took turns and came down and picked at it a little bit for a while, and then somebody came by and carried off the whole thing. I don't know who did that, but yeah, by the end of the day, it was gone. So, yeah, and then we get hawks. Hawks do you know, they're kind of bad about that too. You know, they catch birds, You know, I put bird feeders out and stuff, you know, and feed them. And the hawk, sometimes in the morning, we get a little Cooper's hawk, I think it is. It's a small hawk, about the same size as a crow. And it'll come and it'll catch the small birds that come to my bird feeder, you know. And sometimes I'll go out there in the morning when I'm putting a seed in the bird feeder. And the birds, you know, they wait for me to go out there and put the seed in. But then the hawk waits sometimes too. He says, okay, you're putting the bird seed out. That means there are going to be birds I can pick off. That's his thinking, right? So sometimes the hawk will be out there. And I try to scare him off, but that's kind of fruitless, you know. It's hard to, you know, he's hungry. He wants to eat, and he wants to eat another bird, and that's what he does. And it's interesting to watch the crows and the Cooper hawk, because they're about the same size and they have about the same flying ability and stuff like that. And that what the crows do is they try to get 2 or 3 of them on the hawk, and they do this dog fight thing where they're just trying to fight each other, and it's quite amazing to watch. So far, I haven't seen any either one of them kill each other, you know, or do anything. But the crows generally harass the hawk until it flies away, you know. But they fight for quite a while before that happens. And that's what I was worried about, was that a hawk, maybe, you know, that Cooper's hawk or red-tailed hawk or something got one of my crows, you know. That's what I thought maybe had happened out there. But it was the turkey. So yeah, that's stuff that happens around here. Yeah, if you live in the city, you probably don't see a lot of that, but we see it a lot here in rural areas. You know, you see that, especially like around here. We've got a ton of wildlife. I've never lived anywhere that had this much wildlife. It's a very healthy ecosystem here. Just the other night, about 2 nights ago, I walked outside about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I wasn't thinking, and I went out there with a flashlight and was moving it around and stuff, and I made a noise, and there were like 3 deer out there in my yard, 3 deer, and one of them ran into the fence. I felt bad that I startled it, you know, but I didn't know they were out there. So we could just have a lot of different, and I get bears come around every once in a while, and all kinds of rodents, and, you know, squirrels and all kinds of stuff. So we get quite a bit of wildlife around here. Yeah, the foxes I haven't seen in a long time. I haven't seen them in a while, but they may have been the ones responsible for that deer, or for that turkey rather, that got torn up. So not sure. What else would I got to do on this stream? I've been out here for a long time. Let's see. C-SPAN. I got to do I already did Sora. Talked about Sora. Oh, let me. I can play my channel trailer again. Let me do that. You guys haven't seen that yet. I played it at the beginning of the stream, but I'll play it again here. Let's see, videos. Here we go. Okay, this is my channel. What I did is I had auditions from various actors to do my channel promo, so here that is. I'll play it for you. Oh wait, I gotta wait for the ads. Sorry. All right, for those of you on the VOD, we got to wait for the ads here. So we'll do that. We'll wait for the ads to get done. Oh, good. I'm glad they're playing. I wouldn't like it if they came on in the middle of the whole thing. Although those of you on the VOD, if you watch it from the beginning, then you've already seen these. But wait for the ads to get done. Okay, it says they're done, I think. Does it say they're done? I think so. Yeah, I think they're done. All right. All right, so this is a I did a new channel trailer, and I had auditions for the channel trailer. People to have an actor read the my normal blurb. Hi, I'm Double Tribble. I live in rural New Hampshire, and I stream all this stuff and blah blah blah. Right, and then so I had actors come in and read virtually, and I decided to just make the channel trailer itself, make that the auditions. The auditions are the channel trailer. So here that is. I'll play that real quick here.
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
Double Tribble dwells in the rugged hills of rural New Hampshire. He bears the burden of social dyslexia, and yet he streams science, technology, film critique, life among the beasts, civics, and the many matters of the vegan creed.
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
Double Tribble is in rural New Hampshire. He has social dyslexia, and he streams science and technology, film reviews, IRL with the animals, civics, and vegan things. What's vegan?
All right, so that's just my channel trailer. So that was Sora doing AI imitations of actors. Kind of some of it did better than the others. I thought it did. Audrey Hepburn, it did really well, and Sidney Poitier, it did really well, and Josephine Baker, I think it did pretty good. Did her pretty good. Although I think when she was younger, she had a French accent, a little bit of a French accent, because she lived in France for a long time. And then Ricardo Montalban, it didn't look like him so much, but it was still kind of good. Oh, you're laughing at that? Yeah, you were laughing at my channel trailer. So I thought that was kind of funny. What I thought was really funny was that I didn't change the script at all. All I did was say, okay, do it. I had the same script and everything, and I just said, okay, make it. First I did Audrey Hepburn, and then I said Josephine Baker and each of them, right, and Sidney Poitier and Ricardo Montalban. And when I got to and it was the same script every time, But then when I told it to do Ricardo Montalban, I said, make Ricardo Montalban look like Khan from the Wrath of Khan. If you're familiar with the Star Trek movie Wrath of Khan that he starred in, he was one of the major characters in that show, in that movie. I said, make him like that, meaning make him look like that, or his style or whatever. And they went and they just rewrote the script instead of that. Those words were not my words that Ricardo Montalban were saying. they just made up their own words. I guess the AI thought, oh, well, this is what Khan would say. This is how he would say it, or whatever. And it is kind of in that character, when you listen to it. So that was kind of interesting. So yeah. So that's my new channel trailer now. I'm just going to leave that up there. I tried putting up some other stuff. I tried putting up, I forget what I did. I had a clip from one of my streams of me trying to remember something that I couldn't remember or something that I thought was kind of funny, and then some other stuff I tried putting on it. But this is pretty good, I think. I think this is kind of funny, having those up there. So I think I'll leave that as my channel trailer now. So when people go to my channel, that should play automatically now. But I wonder how many people on Twitch will know who those actors are. I think people know, the really big actors. I think people know them from, even though they're old, they're from, a long time ago. I think people still know them. I think, I'm not really sure, but I think they do. I don't know. They can always Google them, right? Find out who they are or whatever. Do it that way. Let's see here. What else we got? I think that's it. I did all the Sora videos. I did my IRLs. Oh, I didn't play my C-SPAN. I did a C-SPAN. I called into C-SPAN. You guys want to hear that? I can play that. That should be pretty quick. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do the C-SPAN thing. Let's see here. C-SPAN. Here we go. Ron on C-SPAN.
Didn't get much media pushback.
All right, let's see if I can bring that up here. Oh, good. Now it's working. Now it's working just fine. All right. So this is me calling into C-SPAN. This is when was this? The 22nd. So 5 days ago, I called into C-SPAN, and here's that. Here's my call into C-SPAN.
I wanted to get that point in, but anyway, that's all I had to say, and thank you for taking my call.
That's Kevin in Indiana. Ronald is in the Granite State. Independent. Good morning.
Good morning, John. Thank you for taking my call. Yeah, with regard to the authoritarianism and all that, you know who we blame for that? We blame Congress. Blame Congress. Blame Congress. They're the ones who are responsible for this.
How so, Ronald?
They could stop this. I'm sorry?
How so?
They could stop this at any time. They could withdraw the AUMF so Trump doesn't get us into a war. They could stop the ICE agents. They could stop the tariffs. All of this. They could stop right now. And right now, they have the power to do that. Right now, while they're doing these negotiations, you know who I'm blaming? I'm blaming Jean Shaheen and Maggie Goodlander. You know why? Because those are the two Congress people who are up for vote next November. That's who I blame. And I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. In fact, I don't care what their individual votes are. I care what gets done. Because they trade votes between each other, so it doesn't matter what they vote or what they say. It's what they get done. And if we still have a dictator in office come next election, if we have an election, then I'm going to blame Congress. Blame Congress. They're the ones who have the power. Blame Congress.
That's Ronald in New Hampshire. Don is in Michigan, Democrat. Good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, C-SPAN. Good morning to the American people. That last caller hit it right on the spot. Mike Johnson could bring the House in session and solve this. Nobody on either side.
Okay, so that was my call, complaining about stuff. So that was my. You get to call once a month. I don't call every month. I call, I don't know, half a dozen times a year maybe, or something like that. But I call them every once in a while to say my stuff. So that was me complaining. Yeah, I think the whole it's Congress really. They're the ones to blame for all this. So if we end up, I don't think we're democracy anymore. I'm pretty sure we're not. The people who keep track of that stuff, and make the lists of all the countries and what form of government they have. They say, okay, these are countries are democracies. These countries are authoritarian or whatever. We're not listed as a democracy anymore by the groups that do that stuff. We're not listed as a democracy anymore. And there was a senator who did a filibuster the other day. I don't know. You guys keep track of that stuff. I usually don't. Try not to watch mainstream media too much, but they had this senator who was giving a speech and saying, "Oh, this is terrible. We got, we don't have a democracy anymore. It's a authoritarian, blah 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 blah." But he's a senator, he has the power to stop it, that was the whole purpose of my call, that the Senate and the Congress can stop this, can restore democracy if they want to, but they haven't. So it's up to us now. So vote, please vote, please vote. I don't care what you're Republican, Democrat, or whatever, but vote for democracy, please. All right, let's see. Let's get out of here. Let's raid. I see Memloss is out there, so let's see if he's if I can try to raid to him. If I can figure out how to do that now. Let's see here. I think I can just type it in here. Oh, I got to type in. I got to type in my little rap here. Oh, I didn't. I got to do shout outs to everybody. Let's see. Erum. Would that work? Do I have to? Oh, good. Okay, that worked, I think. Who else did we have in here? Yeah. I don't know who else is a streamer here. Oh, we had Memloss, who I'm gonna raid here in just a second. So I guess I don't need to shout him out. All you got to do is just follow, just hang in here for the raid, and you see Bow. I don't know, Bow. Is Bow stream? I don't know. I don't know if Bow streams. Let's see, Duck. Oh, Walking Stick Library. Let's see. Let me type that in here. Walking Stick Library. Let's see if that works. Did that work? Announcement. There it is. Okay, yeah, it got it. Okay. Yeah, Walking Stick Library streams, kind of gets streams stuff where she gets looking at papers and research and stuff like that. Kind of goes down the rabbit holes of a lot of these research and things like that. Oh, Peekaboo Draws. Let's do Peekaboo Draws. Shout out. I don't know if I spelled that right or not. Let's see if that works. Yep, Peekaboo Draws. Okay. Arts. Yep. Okay. Yeah, Peekaboo Draws. Doesn't stream very often, but when she does, she streams art. She just shows her hands. Only her hands on there, but she's doing art and stuff. And let's see. Nika Ninja. N3K. I'm going to have to remember how to type that. Let's see. Nika Ninja. N3KO N1 NJA. Let's see if that works. Did that work? Yeah, there we go. Okay. She plays music. Who else do we have here? I think that's all we have that stream. Snowy City. I don't know if Snowy City streams anymore. I don't remember. Okay, so let's go ahead and raid Memloss if he's still out there. Let's see, /raid. I think I have to do the @ sign. Let's see if that works here. Did that work? I don't know if that worked. Invalid username. Okay, so maybe I'm not supposed to do the @ sign. Let's try that. Okay. Mem loss this channel. There it goes. Okay, so we're rating mem loss, and let me play my close real quick here. Bye, everybody. Please join us on the raid. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Oh, thank you, Eroom, for my raid call. I forgot to do my raid call. Thank you, Eroom.